Hey everyone, Adam from Adam Fiasco Productions here. Hope you're doing well, having a great day. In this video, I want to talk about acoustic guitar recording, particularly stereo miking acoustic guitars. Now, it's not that difficult to get a good acoustic guitar recording, but it can be quite tricky to get a great acoustic guitar recording. And so I think this video will benefit lots of people. Now, before we dive in, I have to share a confession with you that I'm not a massive fan of stereo miking acoustic guitars. And I'm going to tell you the reasons why now. First of all, acoustic guitars are fairly small instruments. So if you are listening to one in a room, the sound tends to originate from just one place. And so stereo miking can often result in unnatural acoustic guitar sounds if it's super wide. Now, that might be the desired effect if it is great, but if you're going for a more natural acoustic guitar sound and you want it to kind of just slide into your mix, then I'm not always a massive fan of that. Secondly, acoustic guitars are not stationary instruments. And so what that means is the player often might move around a little bit while they're playing, and that can cause big phase issues with the microphones if they are moving about. If you're recording drums or piano, then it is much easier to get a stereo sound from them because they're static instruments and they don't move about. Now, if the goal is to get a super wide acoustic guitar sound in a mix, I still don't think stereo miking is always the best option. And it's far better to record two separate takes of acoustic guitar, one panned hard left, one panned hard right, but make sure that those takes are different somehow. Not different to be distracting, but different to be complementary. So that might be playing the same chords, but using different chord positions. For example, using a capo for one of the sides, maybe the right side. And that can give massive width. However, recently, I've been doing some singer-songwriter projects for various artists where the mix is literally just one guitar and a vocal. And so for that, I decided to experiment with some stereo miking of the acoustic guitar, because it is essentially just one guitar, but I wanted it to sound bigger than just one mic. And so I've been experimenting with some different stereo mic placements, and I've come up with one position that I really like the sound of, and I'm going to share that with you now. So these are the microphones and the position that I've been using. Now, there's two microphones, one on top of the other. The first mic is a AKG 414, and the second mic is the Slate Digital ML2 modelling microphone. Now, both of these microphones are aligned. So if I get to here, you can see that the capsules are aligned with each other. However, the top mic, the AKG, is pointing down. So it's up at the top, pointing down on the neck of the guitar. Whereas the Slate mic is underneath, pointing upwards. Now, I'm then running the AKG mic into the desk over here, which has got a Neve 1073 preamp in it. And then I'm running the ML2 mic into the Slate Digital preamp, the VRS8. And then the modelling mic that I'm using, if I can just get that up, is the Ships 222. That's then going into a virtual 1073 and SSL desk. Now, the benefit of having one mic above the neck pointing down and one underneath pointing up is that when you play the acoustic guitar, the top mic pointing down tends to get the bottom three strings, so all of the bass notes, whereas the underneath mic pointing up tends to get more of the high end, the higher strings. So when you're playing, you get this quite natural, subtle spread. So for example, if you are picking, the higher notes come ever so slightly from the right, the lower notes come ever so slightly from the left. It's super subtle, but it does make a big sound. It does, however, I think sound better if the player stays stationary, so that's not going to suit every player. If you start moving around a lot, then that's when you tend to get phase issues, but if you can stay still, it does sound much better. So what I've done is I've recorded a little section for you to have a listen to now. hope that video has been useful for you. If you want to hear more tips, be sure to subscribe, or you can send me a direct message on any of the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Also, make sure you're part of the Label Worthy Facebook group. There's loads of great discussions there for pop, rock and country artists. See you soon. All I wanted to say